Hey everyone, it's Sean Smith from Blackpush, and we are back. I am so sorry we missed yesterday. We've been extremely busy, but as you guys know, we are working on becoming more productive and having this show done every day at 1 p.m. But we're getting there. But thank you guys for tuning in today. I am super excited. I'm still hyped. I had a chance over the weekend to attend the March on Washington for voting rights. Not only did we attend in Washington, but we also were in Atlanta too. So we were in Atlanta. We were also in Miami. So we shut off for all three of the different events, and I'm just super excited because it was really impressive the amount of people that came out. It was really impressive the passion that was out there. It was not something that was like a black or white issue. It was literally just a country issue. Like, everyone deserves access to fair voting rights. To being able to vote, or being able to not have to worry about their vote being suppressed, to not have to worry about it being difficult to vote. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. So as you guys know, over the last year, pretty much, we've been having a huge conversation around voting rights, a huge conversation around different states and how they're either trying to scale back on our ability to vote or be able to push forward on our ability to vote. And this is one thing that's super important to me because we have so much work to do in this area. I don't care what political field you come from. I think we all should agree that voting should not be treated like a privilege. It's definitely a right. Everyone should have a right to have a voice in this society because that's what makes a democracy a democracy. So one of the things that we've been fighting for throughout Florida and Georgia recently is that, of course, as you know, Blackpush was a nonprofit founded off the aspect of ex-offenders being restored back into community. And one of the conversations that we have had recently, and that the country is still having, is how expansive that needs to be as far as when it comes to ex-offenders being restored their right to vote. My personal opinion is once a person has served their time, a person needs to be automatically restored with their right to vote given back. That's my personal opinion. Doesn't mean that we're all going to agree on that, but it's my personal opinion that once a person has served their time, if a judge has found it eligible, a person eligible to go back out into society, then they need to be able to be restored back in society. I mean, if we don't do a great job at putting people into society that where they feel like they can be restored, where they feel like they can get back into just day-to-day life, man, of what it's like to be out here in the streets. So we had opportunity, James and myself, we went up to DC, and I think we're showing a few pictures right here. Of just the amount of people, just the sheer amount of people that was there. I mean, the people from Atlanta, Georgia showed up and showed out. I got to give a special shout out to Georgia because we even had our own little, I guess I call it like pep team. But we did it was an amazing event. It was an amazing opportunity. And I want to encourage everybody out here today, like, listen, like I said, no matter where you stand on this spectrum and on the side of voting rights, I think we all agree that voting is fundamental to our democracy or republic, however you want to call it. But at the same time, we have to make sure that we are making it easier for people to vote, not harder for people to vote. So that's really important. So just a few other quick nuggets that I want to throw out. We are super excited. There I go, a picture of me. We're super excited about something that's getting ready to roll out tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll be rolling out our new logo. So our mission hasn't changed. The things that we do have not changed. But I didn't want it up there today, per se. The mission has not changed, or the things that we do have not changed. We just want to do something different. The new logo, which some of you may have already seen just a minute ago, kind of works around. It works around kind of defining who we are a little better. One of the things, for those who don't know, Blackpush, we deal with social injustice, we deal with voter suppression, we deal with ex-offender rehabilitation. But for me personally, I don't see that as being a black or white issue. It's just an issue. Whether or not a person has the ability to go into a voting booth and vote, their conscience is an issue. Whether or not a person can get out of a jail or prison and be able to go back into society that's welcoming of them is an issue for me. To make sure that a person who is being sentenced to a crime is being fairly sentenced and not being over sentenced or over sentenced on a crime that may only be that carry 5 years. They're not sitting there and still on a 10-year bid on it. So making sure people understand what their rights are. Those things are really important to me. Making sure that social injustice is is not affecting no community. I don't care whether you're black, you're white, Hispanic, Asian. Like everybody should feel equal in a society, and that's what America's all about. If we lose that, we kind of lose everything we are and everything we gear ourselves around towards trying to be. So again, that event was amazing. This is one of my favorite pictures, actually, or was my favorite. I'm looking at the wrong one, but that was right in front of the African American Museum that they just recently built. It's about probably 8-9 years old at this point. So just to see the amount of people out there and just the sheer gravity of it, I think for me was humbling, extremely humbling. So those are new things we have going on there. I just want to also talk about something that's been really, really, really important. So we are currently working on our One Accord Conference Part 2 is what I call it. Part 2 and Part 3. So we're going to be partnering with different churches, and more details will be coming out really soon, hopefully by the end of this week as we nail down some of these dates. But we'll be partnering with different people throughout from now until the end of October to host these different events. We're also getting ready to have our very first fundraiser, or one of our major fundraisers. We're going to have our gala event where we'll have a guest speaker. So more details about that is coming out as well. So continue, please, everybody, to stay on blackpush.org, to stay on our Facebook page, to stay on our website, to stay on the app. If you have not downloaded our app is now out on Apple as well as Android, is that what they call it, or Google Play Store. So check out our app. There's so much information, so many pictures, so many different details of things that we're doing. I think that is crucial for everyone involved. So we just wanted to take the time out today on our Black Push Talk to kind of really talk about where we're at as a country when it comes to voter suppression issues. So kind of let's recap how we got here, right? So as you guys know, a lot of last year, a lot of people had to change the way we voted because of the fact that COVID was out. It's given, right? People didn't want to go out into society and go out and vote, not knowing if they were putting themselves, their families, their children at risk. Understandable. No one should have to choose between the safety of their family or going out to the polls to vote. So a lot of states, a lot of counties, a lot of districts end up making it more accessible for people to vote. The problem is in this last election is that they didn't expect as many people to vote as that did vote. And that's the problem. They didn't expect people to get out and vote. They didn't expect people to still go out and say, hey, you know what? I have a voice in the society and I'm going to use that voice to better my personal interests. That's what voting is all about in America. Voting is all about voting for people who support your interests. That's what we go to the polls to do. So people got out and voted. And ever since that time, an election system that has not been broken or by standards, most people say it was not broken. A lot of states, and mostly southern states, have tried to reform the way we vote, from not being able to pass out water in lines while people are voting, to changing the time that people are able to vote, to giving counties the access to what hours they can have voting polls open. And I think in the state of Georgia, it's like 9 to 5, which the average person, we're working from 9 to 5. So it's so many different things like that we're fighting against, because those type of things should not impact the type of job you have, where you work, how much you're making should not impact whether or not you have the right or access to being able to go and vote. So that's something that we continue to work on, and that's something that we are not doing it alone. The one thing I love, and I know Georgia's not the only state that's doing this, but I love the people who are working in this space in the great state of Georgia. Miss Helen Butler, I mean, the labor unions here, everybody has kind of taken on a role of kind of becoming active in this. Black Voters Matter, so many different nonprofit organizations out there that's doing it on a statewide level as well as on a national level, and kudos to each and every single one of you. My message to these nonprofits that are out here working on voter suppression is, hey, we can do this a whole lot better and a whole lot nicer and a whole lot neater if we partner together, if we work together. I mean, it's not about territory at this point. We're trying to save lives. We're trying to give people access to the polls. We're trying to make sure people have rights to go and vote, and that people are not being discriminated against. And those are things I think we can all work together on. And for the most part, we have done an amazing job of doing so. Every organization I've reached out to, I've talked to about partnering together with them, they have been open and welcoming. So we just got to make sure that we continue to fight. and that we continue to do what we have to do, because this is too big and too important to let one of us or one person get in the way of it. So again, like, I had an amazing time in the March in Washington for voting rights. We're getting ready to do some events as well. We're getting ready to go through special training here at Blackpush. So we got a lot of stuff going on that we want to be involved, but we also need you guys. So if you're between the age of 18 to 25 and you want to come volunteer someplace and you want to help get your friends registered to vote, hit us up. Go to our website at www.blackpush.org. Find us on Facebook. Call our office. Our office phone number is 678-202-4320. We need your help. We need your voice. It takes a village. It really does take a village, and I say that all the time. But it really does take a village. Not one of us can do this work alone. We need each and every single one of you being out there. So today, I'm just super excited because I see the movement, but I also am saddened because we shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be in a place where we have to go and fight for the right to vote or go and argue with people for the right to vote. We should be past that. But being that we're not, we have organizations like ours where we'll continue to fight to make sure that every person who wants access to the ballot gets access to the ballot, and also educate people on why it's so important that you understand that your vote matters. I mean, I talk to young people all the time, or younger people than me, and one of the things is that they always say, it's like, oh, my one vote doesn't matter. And I beckon to differ, because I think it was North Carolina or South Carolina where literally a couple of years ago, one vote made the difference in who got into Congress. One vote, literally, it was a one vote difference. And I think they ended up deciding who made it by doing a straw poll, right? So that one vote makes a huge difference. And we have too many important things coming down the ballot, too many important things, bills that are trying to get passed on the state level, on a county level, on a national level, to where people cannot use the voice in which they are given. And just look at some of the pictures that we've had, the amount of people who are out there fighting for your voice to be heard. So let's not let our fight be put on the wayside. So we have to get out and vote. We have to get out and get people registered to vote. And no matter what the laws are, educate yourself on the law so that when it comes time to you being able to vote, you can go down that checklist and make sure that everything is checked off. I'm going to end on this, but it was Reverend Shannon of the Concerned Black Clergy who made this statement, and I kind of held on to it. So he said that, hey, you know what, next time you go out on a date, before you even get to the point of going on a date with somebody, the first question you need to ask them is, hey, are you registered to vote? That's just how important this initiative is, and this aspect of it is. It is so important that we need to make sure that everybody around us, from our kids, if they're getting ready to be 18 in November, to our friends, to our family members, to even those people you may not like, get them out there, get them registered to vote, help them understand what their rights are. And we're going to be releasing some more information on that as well, understanding a pamphlet, hopefully, to just kind of break down the new laws in different states and explain to you what you need to do in the process. So thank you for joining in with us today. We will be back here tomorrow at 1, where we'll have a longer segment, and we'll be talking about America. Do we have too many guns yet? America, do we have too many guns yet? So that'll be a very interesting topic. But until next time, you guys, I'll continue to pray for you as I ask that you continue to pray for me. And I look forward to continuing the dialogue. And don't forget, tomorrow is our big rollout day for our new logo. So I'm super excited. I hope you guys join us in the journey, and we'll see you tomorrow.